Has it ever happened to you that you look around your house and feel like everything is overwhelming you? Piles of clothes, dirty dishes, toys everywhere, dust that seems to multiply on its own, and you have no energy or motivation to start. You end up sitting there, staring at the mess, not knowing where to begin, telling yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow." But tomorrow is the same. And the worst part is that constant feeling of guilt, as if you could never get on top of everything. I know how it feels. That's why today I want to share with you a simple, effective method that will bring you peace of mind at home, the 7+7+7 method. This method was born from those days when you think you need to dedicate hours and hours to have everything clean, but the reality is that with small time blocks, you can accomplish much more than you imagine. Let me explain how it works. You choose 7 minutes to clean, 7 minutes to organize, and 7 minutes to get rid of what you don't need. That's it. 3 blocks of 7 minutes. You can do it once a day, twice, or as many times as you want, but even just one block will start to make you feel like you're regaining control. I'll give you 10 examples of how to apply this method in your home, without stress, and with results from the very first day. First, 7 minutes to clean the kitchen. When I say 7 minutes to clean the kitchen, I'm not talking about leaving it magazine-worthy, or diving deep into organizing drawers, taking everything out of the pantry, or dismantling the hood. It's just 7 minutes. What I want you to understand is that you don't need to dedicate an hour to that space for it to start looking better, and so you can breathe a little. And yes, at first, you might feel like you're hardly doing anything in such a short time, but I assure you that when you focus and act without distractions, 7 minutes can achieve much more than you think. Start with what causes you the most visual noise. What you see that makes you uncomfortable or feels overwhelming. If you have dishes in the sink, spend 3 or 4 minutes washing what you can. Don't obsess over finishing everything, just do a first pass. Let the really dirty ones soak, and move on. Then, take a damp cloth with some multi-purpose cleaner or just water with soap, and quickly wipe down the surfaces where dust, crumbs, or stains are most noticeable. The countertop, the table if you have one, the microwave area. You don't have to move everything or lift things, just clean what's visible, what bothers you. After that, if you have a minute left, quickly sweep the floor. Don't aim for perfection or lift every piece of furniture. Just sweep or dustpan where dirt accumulates most, around the sink, under the table, at the kitchen entrance. If you don't have time to sweep everything, focus on those areas. If in those 7 minutes you manage to wash 5 dishes, wipe down the counter, and sweep a bit, that's already a big difference. Don't underestimate it. Because sometimes we think that unless we do everything, it's not worth it, but that thought is what holds us back, what makes us postpone everything, and lets it pile up. Instead, this method teaches you to act, to solve small things, to move forward without pressure. And if in those 7 minutes you realize that you can't do everything, that's okay. The important thing is that you try today, and tomorrow you'll have another 7 minutes. And maybe on the second day, you'll clean something that you didn't get to yesterday. And in a week, you'll be amazed at how your kitchen changed by dedicating less than half an hour in total. The beauty of this exercise is that by doing it without the obligation of making everything perfect, your mind relaxes. You stop seeing the kitchen as an impossible monster, and start perceiving it as a space that, with small gestures, is back under control. Because that change isn't only physical, you also feel it. Start with those 7 minutes, do it without overthinking, without seeking perfection. Just act. And every day it will show more. Second, 7 minutes to organize the bathroom. When I say 7 minutes to organize the bathroom, it's not for you to start taking out all the drawers, organizing the whole medicine cabinet, or scrubbing the tiles. It's to return a bit of visual order and functionality to one of the places that gets messy the quickest, and that, without us realizing it, gives us stress when it's chaotic. Because the bathroom is that place where you go to shower or wash your face, and if it's messy, even if you don't consciously think about it, it steals your peace. Start with the first thing you see when you enter. Look at the products that have been left out. That open shampoo, the shaving cream without a cap, loose brushes, hairpins or ties scattered around. Take a little basket, a drawer, or whatever you have, and put everything back in its place. If there are things that shouldn't be in the bathroom, like makeup you took and never put away or expired products, take them out. Don't leave them for later. It only takes a few seconds. Next, check how many empty bottles there are. It's amazing how we get used to leaving shampoo bottles or finished soaps taking up space. In less than a minute, you can throw them in the trash, or if you recycle, put them in the appropriate bin. Don't start checking dates one by one, just deal with the obvious. What's empty or clearly unused out. Then, take the towels. The ones that are a mess on the sink, the ones that are left wet in the shower, or thrown around. Fold them quickly, or if they need washing, throw them in the laundry basket. Even if you just tidy up a couple, the visual change is immediate. Having the hand towel clean and properly placed changes the feel of the whole bathroom. If you have a few minutes left, quickly wipe the mirror with a paper towel or cloth. Don't aim to make it spotless, just remove the water spots, dust, or fingerprints. You can even use an old towel or an unused shirt to do this. The difference is noticeable in seconds. And if you still have some time, change the trash bag. Nothing conveys more mess than a bathroom bin full of papers, containers, or accumulated waste. If the bin is full, take it out. If it's halfway full but smells, take it out too. It takes less than a minute and improves the environment instantly. With this method, it's not about getting the bathroom ready for a formal visit, but about restoring dignity to the space. It's about entering and not being greeted by that chaos that reminds you of everything you haven't done. 7 minutes, that's it. Organize what's most visible, throw away what's unnecessary, and tidy up the basics. And if tomorrow you want to repeat another 7, even better. Because when you see that small change, you feel capable of more. This habit teaches you to stop procrastinating the simple things. Because what overwhelms us isn't the big tasks, it's those small things piling up. And when you solve them in 7-minute blocks, little by little, without realizing it, you're also organizing your mind. Third, 7 minutes to get rid of things from the wardrobe. This is where many people stop because they feel that organizing the wardrobe is a task that takes hours, even days. But no. Today we're not going to organize the whole wardrobe. Not even half of it. We're only going to work for 7 minutes. That's it. Because when you sit in front of your wardrobe with the thought, I have to fix it all, your brain gets overwhelmed and doesn't want to start. But when you say just 7 minutes, it doesn't seem so terrible. And it's in those 7 minutes where your relationship with that space starts to change. Open a drawer, a shelf, or part of the closet. It doesn't matter which one. Choose a small area. Don't start pulling everything out of the closet because that's not the point. Just look and begin removing what you no longer use, what you know is broken, what no longer fits or what you don't like. The stuff that every time you see it you say, I should throw this away, and never do. It could be that old stained t-shirt that you're embarrassed to wear but can't bring yourself to throw away. Those pants that haven't fit for years, but you keep just in case. Those mismatched socks, that worn out belt, that bag that no longer works. Take them out. Make a quick pile. Don't try anything on, don't overthink it. If you hesitate more than 5 seconds, throw it away. The important thing here is to move quickly, without sentimentality. Because if you stop to remember when you bought it or think about whether you'll ever use it, you're wasting time. Remember, you only have 7 minutes, and every item you take out means more space and less mental load. And you don't need to decide right now whether you're going to donate, sell, or throw it away. Just separate it. You can have a bag or box labeled to go. Later, you'll decide what to do with it. The important thing now is to remove from the wardrobe the things that take up space, energy, and mental peace. You'll be surprised by how many useless things we keep just because we didn't take these 7 minutes. And even though it seems small, removing 5 or 6 things that you no longer need today already lightens the load. Because the next time you open that drawer, you won't see the same number of things bothering you. Additionally, this exercise has a powerful effect. It reminds you that you can live with less. You don't need 20 t-shirts or 15 pairs of pants if you only use 5. Freeing up space allows you to breathe and make better decisions. Because a cluttered wardrobe is like a cluttered mind. And when you get used to dedicating 7 minutes every once in a while, without pressure, without the obligation to finish it all, suddenly, without realizing it, your wardrobe starts to reflect what you truly like, what you wear, what fits you well. It's no longer that space that makes you feel guilty or annoyed. It's a lighter, more personal place. So don't wait for a free afternoon or the weekend. Today, set the timer on your phone, open that forgotten drawer, and get started. In 7 minutes, you can remove more than you think. And best of all, when you're done, you'll feel good. Because you've finally done something you've been putting off for a while. Fourth, 7 minutes to clean the bedroom. This point is crucial because the bedroom should be our refuge, the place where we rest and recharge our energy, but many times it ends up being the most neglected room. Because since no one sees it, we leave it for later. And that's how everything accumulates. Loose clothes, forgotten coffee cups on the nightstand, shoes scattered around, the bed not made. And even though you may not believe it, that mess weighs on you. It steals your rest. It makes you wake up with a cloudy head because the first space you see when you open your eyes reminds you of everything you've left pending. That's why these 7 minutes are pure gold. It's not to do a deep clean or a spring cleaning. It's to restore dignity to that space where you spend almost a third of your life. Start by opening the window. Even if it's just for 5 minutes. Let the air in, let the atmosphere refresh a little. Even if it's cold or raining. A few minutes of fresh air do more for your mind than any air freshener. Then, without thinking too much, make the bed. It doesn't matter if it's not magazine ready or perfect like a hotel. Just stretch it, arrange the pillows, tidy up the blankets. Even if it's just the outside. That simple action changes the feel of the whole bedroom. It's like putting order in your day, even if everything else is upside down. Next, look around and pick up everything that shouldn't be there. The water glasses you left on the nightstand. The dinner plate from last night. The wrappers, magazines, loose papers. Don't think about it, just pick them up and take them out. Throw them away or take them to their proper place. These are small objects that, even though you don't notice, weigh on you visually. Now, the clothes. It doesn't matter if you have mountains of dirty or clean clothes to fold. Just spend 7 minutes. Put away what's clean and that you can in that time. The rest, pile it up in a corner, fold it quickly or toss it in the laundry if it's dirty. Don't start organizing the closet now. Just clear the floor, the chairs, the bed. And if you have a minute left, quickly dust the surfaces. A dry cloth, an old towel, whatever you have on hand. Just go over the nightstand, the dresser, the shelf. Remove the visible dust that seems small but transforms the atmosphere. Don't aim for perfection. The key is to eliminate the visual clutter. When you leave and come back, you don't want to be met with chaos. Because an organized bedroom, even if it's just halfway done, reduces your anxiety levels, helps you sleep better, and allows you to start your day with a different attitude. The beauty of this method is that it shows you don't need a marathon cleaning session to feel better. That in 7 minutes, you can change the vibe of your bedroom. With small daily actions, both your space and your mind can become organized. And resting in a clean place, even if it's only on the surface, feels different. Because you're not just cleaning the room, you're cleaning yourself. Fifth, 7 minutes to organize the toys. If you're a mom, you know that the toy mess has no schedule or limit. One day you clean, and soon after it looks like a hurricane of dolls, blocks, balls, and colorful pieces pass through the house. And although we act strong by saying, it's normal, they're kids, the truth is it's exhausting. It's overwhelming. And there comes a point when even the kids don't enjoy it because there are so many things they don't even know what to play with. That's why this 7-minute moment is crucial. First, breathe and mentally prepare. You're not going to organize the entire toy store that has formed in your house. You're just going to pick up and organize what's visible. You want the things not to be lying around everywhere. So you can walk without stepping on a toy car or tripping over a decapitated doll. And, by the way, this isn't just for aesthetics, it's for mental health. Set the timer and start with what's visible. The loose toys in the living room, kitchen, under the chairs, in the bathroom, on your bed. Gather everything in a basket, box, or large bag. Don't stop to classify or decide if they will continue using them. Just pick up quickly. These are the toys that always get scattered and visually overwhelm you. If you have time within those 7 minutes, move to the next level. Put away what you know they actually use and set aside what's been untouched for weeks. Because, although it's hard to accept, some toys just take up space. The kids don't even remember them. They're broken, incomplete, or just no longer interesting. If you see one of these, Without thinking too much, take it out of the box. Put it in a out-of-circulation bag and set it aside. You don't have to decide today if you're throwing it away or donating it. Just remove it from sight. Take advantage of those minutes to check strategic corners. Under the sofa, behind the doors, between the cushions, under the beds. These are the places where there are always surprises. Take them out quickly. Don't stop to clean them thoroughly, that's not the moment. Just remove them. And if you have any time left, organize by categories what's used the most. For example, one box for blocks, one for dolls, one for bowls. Even if it's just on the surface. Don't stop to look for lids or make perfect combinations. The goal is to reduce chaos, not create a museum. This exercise not only clears the house visually, it also teaches the kids, because while doing this, you can tell them, let's put away what we use and take out what we don't, so there's room to play. It helps them see that things have a place and not everything stays forever in the house. When the 7 minutes are up, you'll notice that you can now see the floor, that you can walk without fear, and that the living room or their room feels lighter. And most importantly, you breathe easier, because the constant clutter of toys, even though it seems small, drains you day after day. And with just 7 minutes, you can change that feeling. Not for perfection, but for peace. Sixth, 7 minutes to clean the guest bathroom or secondary bathroom. This is one of those corners that we often forget about because it's not the main bathroom or the one we use all the time. But before you know it, someone knocks on the door and asks to use it. And that's when the embarrassment hits. Dust on the shelf, stains on the sink, hair on the floor, the mirror fogged with fingerprints, and a towel that looks like a war relic. So dedicating 7 minutes to this bathroom is an act of domestic dignity. Not to make it look magazine perfect, but to avoid those awkward moments and to prevent yourself from feeling overwhelmed every time you see it. The key is to go in with a practical mindset, an old cloth or towel in one hand and a multi-purpose cleaner spray in the other. Don't get out all the cleaning products, or prepare buckets, or wear battle gloves. Just the essentials. Set the timer and start with the most visible. Wipe the sink with a little cleaner. Get rid of the dry spots, toothpaste stains, and the grime that seems harmless but makes the place look neglected. Then, without stopping, give the toilet a quick pass. You don't need to disinfect it like a surgical room, but wipe down the lid, the sides, the seat. That's enough to make it look clean and fresh. If you have a toilet brush handy, a quick touch inside and you're done. Don't linger, don't focus on every detail. Next, tackle the mirror. A little glass cleaner or the same multi-purpose cleaner, and wipe it with a napkin, paper, or dry cloth. Whatever you have. Just remove the fingerprints, water splashes, and dust. That little change makes a totally different impression. If you have a minute left, check the trash can. If it's full or has old paper, change it immediately. And adjust the hand towel. If it's too dirty or wet, put a clean one. That detail is the first thing guests notice, and it also changes how you feel when you enter. Don't worry about the corners or washing the entire floor. If you see a really obvious stain or hair on the floor, wipe it quickly. Just remove what's visible. Remember, this is not the deep cleaning day, it's a quick maintenance session, so that it looks decent and functional. When you step out and look at the bathroom after those 7 minutes, you'll notice it feels different. It no longer feels burdensome to see, nor are you embarrassed if someone asks to use it. Because, even though it's not spotless, it's presentable. And that little change gives you peace of mind. Because, in the end, home cleaning is not just about order, it's about mental peace. And this bathroom, even though it's secondary, still counts. Seventh, 7 minutes to get rid of old papers. This is one of those invisible tasks that pile up without you realizing. Papers, notes, old bills, receipts for things you paid months ago, appliance warranties that no longer exist, instructions for items you never read, magazines you swore you'd review calmly, and advertisements that someone left at the door. All these papers not only take up physical space, they also take up mental space. Because, even though you don't notice, every time you see them, they create a burden, a silent reminder that someday you should sort them. But that day never comes. Until today. So, without thinking too much, set the timer for 7 minutes. Don't sit down to read everything or decide in detail what to do with each piece of paper. The rule here is clear: if it's useless, get rid of it. Start with the surfaces where papers tend to accumulate. The dining table, the kitchen table, the entryway drawers, the desk, the shelf next to the phone, or that corner where you leave important papers that you never touch again. Take the piles in hand and review quickly. Utility bills that you already paid, throw them away. Grocery receipts, out. Expired promotional flyers, straight to the trash. Magazines from months ago that you haven't opened, you're not going to read them today. Avoid thinking, maybe later. No. If you haven't done it in weeks, you won't do it now. Get rid of it. If you find papers that do have value, such as important documents, valid warranties, or receipts you need to keep, make a separate pile. But don't get distracted organizing it today. Just separate it. This is not the time to classify or make folders. It's the time to clear up. Also check for empty envelopes, notes with things you've already resolved, manuals for old appliances. All of that takes up space you could free up. And believe me, it's amazing how much the space changes without that visual clutter. If you have time left, check the trash can on the desk or any drawer you know is full of useless papers. Throw away everything obvious. No need to dig to the bottom. Just the surface, what you can already see, is worthless. In 7 minutes, you'll notice that your house feels different. Less paper in sight means less visual noise, fewer pending reminders, less mental load. And that's also organizing your life. Because cleaning isn't always just wiping a cloth. Sometimes it's getting rid of what takes up space and adds nothing. And trust me, those old papers are more weight than you realize. 8th, 7 minutes to clean the living room. The living room is the heart of the house, the place where we all gather, where we relax, where we host visitors, and where we spend the most time. And although you may not believe it, the clutter in the living room directly impacts how we feel. The dust that accumulates, the cushions out of place, the coffee table that looks like a dumping ground for everything we use, all of that, even though you may not notice it immediately, creates a sense of chaos. It makes you feel like the home is out of control. But with just 7 minutes, you can completely change that feeling. It's not about making the living room perfect, but about making it look and feel organized and clean. First, take a general look around. Start with the most obvious, the dust. Why? Because even though we ignore it, dust is everywhere, especially on flat surfaces like tables, shelves, and furniture. You don't need a special cloth or expensive cleaner, just a clean cloth or microfiber towel. With that, wipe down the coffee table, shelves, side tables, picture frames, lamps, and shelves. Just give them a quick wipe, as if you were sweeping the air. Don't worry about deep corners or small details. If you have a vacuum with a small nozzle, quickly go over the corners of furniture or the bases of sofas. If not, simply move the cloth over the visible surfaces. Next, tackle the cushions. You don't need to place them all perfectly like in a magazine, but you do need to put them in their place. Take a moment to shake them, give them a decent shape, and distribute them so they don't look scattered everywhere. If you have large cushions, place them on the back of the sofa. If you have smaller ones, distribute them more evenly. This will instantly change the look of the room. Then, check the coffee table. If you use it as a place to pile up all kinds of items, like keys, wallets, remote controls, or empty cups, now is the time for a change. Gather everything that shouldn't be there. Keep only the essentials. If you have magazines or books stacked up, arrange them neatly. If you have something in progress, like a project you're working on, put it in a drawer or basket. The goal is for the table to look clean and free of visual clutter. A cleared table completely changes how the space feels. It doesn't need to be empty, just not a chaos of things that have no place. And if you have spare time within those 7 minutes, check the decorative objects. Maybe a vase or a candle that looks dusty or out of place. Wipe them down quickly, dust them off, and arrange them in a way that looks harmonious. A couple of subtle touches make all the difference. If you have a rug or fabric surface on the floor, quickly vacuum it or shake it out if you can. Don't stop too long. Just enough to get rid of the most obvious dirt. If you have young children or pets, this is essential because dust and dirt accumulate much faster in those areas. The goal in these 7 minutes isn't to make the living room look brand new, but for it to look lighter, more organized, and cleaner. What you're doing here is freeing the living room from that visual weight that makes it feel cluttered. You'll notice that when those minutes are up, the living room will look completely different. It will give you a sense of calm, of space. And best of all, in just 7 minutes, it feels like a significant change. You don't need hours to achieve it, just a bit of focus and quick action. The most important thing is that after these 7 minutes, the living room feels welcoming, ready to host anyone without embarrassment, and ready for you to enjoy your space without the clutter invading you. It's not perfection, but it's control. And that, believe me, feels really good. 9th, 7 minutes to organize the fridge. The fridge is that place where, generally, we let chaos build up without realizing it. Every time we put something in without thinking, we place it anywhere, or simply leave something on the door just in case. Leftover containers that stay for days, vegetable bags no one wants anymore, containers of products that have already expired, sauce jars we forgot existed. All of this starts to create a sense of disorder in the fridge that, although we don't always see it, affects how we feel and how we manage the rest of the kitchen. Spending 7 minutes organizing the fridge is not to make it spotless or to do a deep clean of every corner. The goal is quick maintenance to remove what's no longer useful and create space for what we really use. So, with the timer running, start with the most obvious. Check expiration dates. Don't stop at every product, just focus on what is clearly expired or what you know you won't use. Take those out and throw them away immediately. No negotiations here. If something is past its expiration date, toss it. Don't ask yourself, should I keep it for another day? If you haven't used it by now, chances are you won't. Next, check containers with leftovers or food you no longer recognize. If they've been stored for a long time, just get rid of them. There's no need to smell or examine them. If you're unsure, it's better to throw them out. Do this quickly, don't waste time. Then, with what you're keeping, check the organization. If products are disorganized or accumulating on one side, quickly reorganize them. Place items that will expire first at the front. That way, next time you open the fridge, you'll know those are the ones you need to use first. Place newer products at the back. This will save you time when cooking or when you need something quickly. A minimum organization of the fridge helps avoid the feeling of frustration when opening it and not knowing what you have or if something has expired. If you have any shelves or areas that are very dirty or have food residue stuck, take a couple of minutes to clean them. There's no need for a deep clean, but if you can quickly wipe them down with a little cleaner, do it. This will remove residue that builds up over time and may prevent unpleasant odors. If you have products like fruits or vegetables that are wilting or not fresh, take those out too. Don't let them take up unnecessary space. This not only helps the fridge look more organized, but also allows you to see clearly what you actually have available to cook or consume. In the last minutes, check the fridge doors. If you have shelves with sauces, condiments, dressings, or juices, tidy them up a bit. Place larger jars at the bottom and smaller ones on top. If any bottle is about to run out, put it in a visible spot so you'll use it first. Again, this is not about perfection, but about functionality. Remember, you don't need a perfect space, just one where you can see what you have, know what to use first, and not feel stressed. A few well-spent minutes can make a significant difference. When those 7 minutes are up, your fridge will be cleaner, more organized, and most importantly, you'll feel in control. It won't be a place you dread opening, but a more efficient, clearer space where you can quickly find what you need. Plus, you'll avoid surprises of expired products and forgotten foods, which also saves money. Those 7 minutes are worth it. 10th, 7 minutes to get rid of what's in the entryway. The entryway is the first place we see when we arrive and the last one we see when we leave. It's the space that welcomes you into the house, but it's often also the space that ends up accumulating everything that doesn't have a specific place. And the worst part is that, over time, we don't even notice it's turning into a site filled with clutter. Forgotten shoes, bags you don't use anymore, piles of mail, keys, broken umbrellas. All that piles up without us thinking about it, until suddenly, the entryway becomes a place where everything stays for a while, and without realizing it, those while periods turn into days and weeks. So, with just 7 minutes, we're going to take back control of that space. You don't need a deep clean or to reorganize everything, just get rid of what's unnecessary. Start with the shoes. It's common to leave shoes half off when we get home. Some pairs we don't wear anymore or that are old or broken. If you have a pair of shoes you haven't worn in months, if they're too worn out, or if they simply don't fit anymore, take them out. If you're not using them, you don't need them. Old or broken shoes just take up space you could use for something else. Next, move on to the bags. That bag you bought years ago but never used. Or the one that's broken, with a strap that doesn't work anymore, or with a stain that's impossible to remove. If you've left it there out of nostalgia or thinking, maybe one day I'll use it, that day never comes. It's time to let it go. If there's anything else in the entryway you know you don't use, like backpacks, old wallets, or any other accessories, get rid of them. Don't stop to think if they have sentimental value. If you're not using them, it's just extra weight. Now, move on to the accumulated mail. Mail is one of those invisible enemies that seems never-ending. Receipts, advertisements, letters you thought you'd read, bank letters, catalogs, brochures. All of that ends up piling up in the entryway, creating a sense of disorder and chaos. Take just a minute to go through what's there, and if it's advertising, flyers, or anything you don't need, throw it out. If there are documents you need to keep, do it quickly and place them in an appropriate spot. Don't leave them piled up there. If there are important letters, quickly check if they need action and put them in a spot where they won't get lost. Don't stop to read or study the content. If it's not urgent, get rid of it now. Also, check the keys. If you have a pile of keys you don't know what they belong to, now's the time to get rid of them. Often, we have forgotten keys to old houses, cars we don't use anymore, doors we can't even remember what they open. Don't let that pile take up unnecessary space. If you don't know what it opens, throw it away. If you need them, put them in a more suitable place. In the last minutes, look for any other items that have been accumulating for no reason. Broken umbrellas, coats you've left there just because you didn't have anywhere else to hang them, or anything else that's just there in case. Pick it all up. It's not about organizing, it's about removing what really has no reason to be in the entrance. After these 7 minutes, the entrance will look much clearer. Not only that, but you'll also feel much more relaxed. The entrance will give a sense of order and peace, because there will be nothing waiting to be organized and nothing telling you you should have done it. The space will be free of things that don't serve you, and the best part is that this is a quick task you can do any day, without stressing or feeling like you have to dedicate hours to it. With these 7 minutes, your entrance will go from being a space of accumulated chaos to a welcoming one, without overwhelming you. And the best part, you don't need hours or deep cleaning. Just a little focus, and in less than 10 minutes, your entrance will be ready to greet you clean, and be a space of organization in your home. The best thing about this method is that it's not about perfection, but about progress. It doesn't matter if you don't finish, what matters is that you start. Because when you begin to see small, clean and organized areas, something in you changes. It motivates you, encourages you, and without realizing it, you regain that control you thought you'd lost. So today, when you finish watching this video, set the timer on your phone and do your first 7 plus 7 plus 7. It doesn't matter how messy everything is, start with a small space. I promise you that by the end of those 21 minutes, you'll feel much better. And tomorrow, repeat. If you want more ideas, leave me a comment and tell me which part of your house is hardest for you to organize. I'm here to help.